Hi ladies, in this video we're going to go through the solutions of the test that you did on 5A to 5D. I'll talk through most of the questions, but I've also got the Word document open so I can go through any questions by hand if I need to. All right, so question 1, write Q times 7 minus P times 6 without multiplication signs. So this one is quite straightforward. So when we're writing algebraic terms or algebraic expressions, we don't tend to use a multiply sign. So when you've got something like Q times 7, we always put the number first and then the letter or the coefficient and then the pronumeral. So 7Q minus 6P. Question 2, how many terms are there in the expression 5x minus 7 plus 2y? So a term is separated by a minus or a plus sign. Okay, not a times or a divide, but a minus or a plus sign. So even though we've got 7 here, 7 is still a term. It's just what we call a constant term. So your 5x is a term, negative 7 is another term, and then we've got 2y is another term. So we've got 3 terms in that expression. Question 3, substituting r equals 5 and m equals 8. Evaluate r plus m. So we just add the 2 together. So we've got 5 plus 8 gives you 13. Using r equals 5 and m equals 8, find the value of 3r minus m. So this time we've got 3 times r, so r being 5. You can put that in brackets if you'd like to. It's a habit I do. And then minus 8. So 3 times 5 gives you 15, minus 8 gives you 7. Okay, question 5, evaluate mn for m equals 7 and n equals 10. So mn is the same as m times n. So mn, is equal to m times n. So we're just multiplying them together. So 7 times 10 is equal to 70. Question 6, if p equals 6, what is the value of 2p divided by 3? So we've got 2 times p, so p being 6, divided by 3. So 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 3, and your answer is 4. All right, question 7, 3a plus 2 plus 3a plus 2 plus 3a plus 2. So we don't really need those brackets there. Okay, they don't really affect anything. So if you wanted to, you can get rid of the brackets. So I'm just rewriting everything. So we've got to group our like terms. So we've got our a's. So think of them as apples. So how many apples do we have in total? We've got 3 plus 3 is 6 plus another 3 is 9. So 9a. And then we've got our constant term. So we've got 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 2 gives you 6. So 9a plus 6. All right, question 8. If you have 4 groups of 5m plus 7 pens, how many pens do you have altogether? So we've got 4 times 5m plus 7. Whoops, let's finish that off. So we're expanding this bracket. So that 4 multiplies everything inside. So we're going to have 4 times 5m plus 4 times 7. So 4 times 5m gives you 20m. And then 4 times 7 is 28. All right, question 9. Now we've got 7 groups of 8t plus 7 soccer balls. How many balls do we have altogether? So we've got 7 times 8t plus 7. So again, we're going to expand. So the 7 multiplies the 8t and the 7. So we've got 7 times 8t plus 7 times 7. 7 times 8 is 56, so we've got 56t. 7 times 7 is 49. Question 10, select all the terms that are like terms to 7AB. So in these questions, quite a few of you got them wrong where you had to give more than one answer. And I did give a warning at the start of the test that some questions had more than one answer. So 7AB, we're looking at the pronumeral part to decide on our like terms. So anything with an AB is a like term. So 3AB is a like term, but also negative BA is a like term because it doesn't matter about the order. Okay, so negative BA is the same as negative AB. So 2 answers for question 10. Question 11, which of the following terms are like terms to 3k squared t? So let me just write down on this side 3k squared t. So we're only looking at the pronumeral part, not the coefficient. So k squared t can be rewritten as k times k. So k squared is k times t. So you can see that is B. And you can also see that is in C, but just the order is different. So we've got k times t times k. But D is also a like term because it has k squared t. The only one that isn't a like term is this first one because the t is squared, not the k. So they're not like terms. All right, question 12. Joseph chose a whole number and called it A. Choose an expression which would represent a quarter of that number and then 5 subtracted from the answer. So we're going to be taking a quarter means we're dividing by 4. So A divided by 4 and then 5 is subtracted from it. So your answer is A over 4 minus 5. Question 13. Write the following expression in simplified form without a multiply or a divide sign. Excuse me, just needed a drink of water. Okay, so this one here, we've got to rewrite it without a multiplication sign. So I'm going to just rewrite it because it's quite long. 7 times m times, then we've got brackets, 5 times m times r minus 3 times t plus 7. So we're going to get rid of all our multiply signs and division signs, although there aren't any division signs in this one. Looking at the form of the answer, so you need to just leave the bracket in. So we're just getting rid of the multiply signs, not the bracket. So we're not going a step further and simplifying it. So 7 times m is 7m. Then we put in our bracket. 5 times m times r gives you 5mr minus 3t. And then we have the plus 7 on the end. Now, when I looked at your answers, some of you had expanded that. So I'll go back and just check for anyone who had expanded that correctly. But if you did expand that, I'll just quickly write the answer here, even though this is the answer. But if we expanded that, you would have 35m squared r minus 21mt plus 7. Okay, so if you expanded that, that's what you should have got. All right, question 14. If c equals a half and n equals 6, then c times n equals. So cn is c times n. So we've got a half times 6. So that's the same as 6 over 2. So when we're multiplying, you can turn that 6 into a fraction by making it 6 over 1. Multiply your numerators and multiply your denominators. So we get 6 over 2, which is 3. All right, let's have a look at question 15. So which of the following pairs of expressions are equivalent? Okay, so equivalent means they equal the same thing. So the first one, we've got 7 plus 4k and 4h plus 7. So we've actually got different pronumeral parts, the k and the h, unless they were equal to the same thing, when they're not equivalent. And they haven't said that k and h are equal, so they're not equivalent. Question B is equivalent because the first expression, so we've got 9, oops, got the 2 there, 2m plus 3. When we expand that, we get 9 times 2n is 18m, and then 9 times 3 is 27. And you can just see they've written it as 27 plus 18m, but they are equivalent. C, P minus Q is not the same as Q minus P. And then the last one, expanding that as well. So 2m minus 6 plus 8z. So 2 times 2m is 4m. 2 times negative 6 is minus 12. And 2 times 8z is 16z. Okay, so you can see they're equivalent. So another question where there were multiple answers. So if you just got one, I will give you marks for that. All right, question 16. The number of counters in a yellow cup is A, and the number of counters in a blue mug is B. So you can see we don't know how many are in there. So you had 3 yellow cups plus 7 loose counters. So we had 3 yellow cups. So we've got 3 yellow cups plus 7 counters. So A is the number of counters inside that yellow mug. Then Jenny gave you 2 blue mugs. Let me just scroll over, and took a yellow cup and 4 counters. So Jenny gave you, so we're adding 2 blue mugs, and she took a yellow. So we're going to minus a yellow, which is A, and 4 counters. So we're going to subtract 4 as well. How many counters do you have now? So it started off the expression for you. So you can see it's exactly what I've written there. I didn't realize it was written there. And so we just have to simplify it. So when we're simplifying, we look at our like terms. So sometimes it's easier to underline them. And let's just do another color. So we've got our constant terms as well. And then we've got our B. Okay, so 3a minus a. Then we've got plus 7. Now the negative stays with the number. So the negative stayed with the a and the negative staying with the 4. So it's minus 4 plus 2b. And then we've got 3a minus a is 2a. 7 minus 4 is 3 plus 2b. Now you can see the answer is just put the terms in a different order. So we're going to do 2a plus 2b plus 3 for your final answer. All right, question 17. Let me just scroll over so we can read it. At the beginning of the day, Read Along Bookshop had 2 full boxes of their current best-selling book. Each had M books in it. Okay, so they had 2 full boxes and each box has M. During the day, the bookshop sold 17 books. Hold on, let's just work out how many books we've got at the moment. So we've got 2 M books. Okay, so M. So if there was 10 in each box, you would have 20 books altogether. If you had 15 books in each box, you would have 30 books altogether. Okay, so during the day, the bookshop sold 17 books and then took, so minus 17, so we're taking away 17 books, then took a delivery of 3 more boxes. So we're adding another 3 boxes, 3M of these books. Which expression correctly shows how many copies of this book are in stock at the end of the day? So I'm just getting my pen ready. So again, your like terms. So we've got 2M and 3M. So add them together, we've got 5M minus 17. And you can see they've rewritten the same thing 3 different ways. So if you chose any of those 3, I'll give you the answer. But just noticing that there were more than 3. It did say which expressions with an S. So that gave you a hint that there was more than one answer. But if you selected any of those 3, I'll give you the mark. Okay, question 18. So let me just get a clear page. The formula for the area of any triangle is A equals half times B times H. So it does tell you that A is your area, B is the length of your base, and H is your perpendicular height. So you can see here, perpendicular just means at a 90-degree angle with the base. Complete the working out of this triangle. So your base is 14 and your height is 10. So it's the first line, you should have a half times 14 times 10. And when you do that together, I would do a half of 14, which is 7. Then 7 times 10 gives you 70. All right, question 19. Excuse me. Morag substituted z equals 0 into these expressions. 2z squared plus z plus 14. And z squared plus 2z plus 14. So pretty much the same. It's just the coefficient of 2 has changed for the z squared and the z. She found that the expressions are equivalent since the results are equal. So if we put 0 in here for both of them, you're actually going to get the same answer. You're going to get an answer of 14. So she's assuming that because you got the answers, the same answer, the results are equivalent. Question B, the expressions are not equivalent since the results are not equal. Well, the results were equal. And even though the answers were equal, she has not proven that the expressions are equivalent. So even though she gets the same answer, that's just because z equals 0 makes them the same. But if she was to put in number 1, you would get a different answer. So your only true option is C. All right, and then lastly, question 20. Which expression is not the same as m times n plus p plus 3? So let's just write that down. I'm just trying to, my fingers are so cold. Okay, p plus 3. So let's get rid of the multiply signs first. So I've got m n p plus 3. So that's one way of writing it. So we can see that's the first way. Option C, all they've done is switch the 3 and the p, which there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's the same thing. And then D, just switch the n and the m, whereas in question B, they've done, looks like they've tried to do an expansion, so expanding the brackets, but didn't apply that mn to 3, so it's not the same. All right, girls. Any problems, please just email me and I'm happy to go through some more questions for you.